All right, boom! Welcome back to the channel. I'm Hank Strange. This is Stranger Palooza, and today I'm actually in Huntsville, Alabama. I was over here doing something with my my great Class B camper van that you see behind me. This is the Coachman Beyond, a 2021 Coachman Beyond built on a 2024 Transit chassis. And really today what I wanted to do with you guys is have a quick conversation about this. Is the Class B camper van boom over? Is the RV boom over altogether? Are the high prices of gas and all that kind of stuff gonna bring an end to the high prices that, these Class B camper vans are going for, and RVs in general? Good question, right? You know what? Let's get all up in that right now. Boom. Hey guys, I just want to take a quick break here to show you all these t-shirts that we're selling, and here, I'll go to Lola's right here.
All right.
Lola, you be the supermodel for this.
I'll try my best.
So let's see if folks know what that says. Vanosaur, that's what it is, Vanosaur.
Like connoisseur.
There you go. For anyone who's wondering, these are, if you want to support us, this is a great way to support us. We have these Vanosaur t-shirts, and you can actually buy them right here on the YouTube channel.
Right.
There's like a little thing going there. What is that?
It's a scroll on the bottom of each video, as well as if you go to the home page, there's a merch tab or merch store that you can click on.
Yep. And you can get these cool shirts and support us. We're going to do different designs. I think you have stickers and different things on
Right.
in
Currently,
the store
these
right
are available on the as stickers, on mugs, camp mugs, water bottles, I think hats.
Right, absolutely. So that's a great way to support the two of us. So if you want to support us, go there and check that out. And then one of the cool things about it that, if you notice, there's no Stranger Palooza anywhere on it, so you don't have to advertise us, but you can support us, I think.
Agreed. And this first design is actually the Ford Transit camper van.
Yes. So that is once again, I'm
That's
going
what
to
this
use
one
you
is.
as the model. So yeah, that is a Ford Transit camper van, which is right there. That's ours that you see right behind us there, and then actually we've got some friends over there. So if you're a fan of the Ford Transit or just van life altogether, this is a cool shirt that you can get. It's kind of like a conversation starter because people are going to want to know, what does it say?
Exactly.
All right, and we're going to do more of them. Okay, so that's it. Thanks so much for listening. All right, look at that. There's Lola. She's kind of chilly. It's really...
I'm not used to this much cold.
It's nice out here. I'm loving this. We're actually in Huntsville, Alabama doing something with Gigaparts, and you guys will see that video. I actually upgraded the van a little bit and put a ham radio set up here in the van, but you guys will see that a completely different thing. I think Lola and I wanted to talk to you about whether or not the boom is over, and we've got some evidence of where our opinion is on that. But right now, as we're talking, I will be completely happy to see everyone else's comments out there. I know a lot of people, Lola, have said to me, oh, all these high-priced vans you're showing us, that's all gonna go away real soon.
That's right.
So, is it over? And you know what? Really, I don't think it is. Not from what I've heard reaching out to folks in the industry and what I've seen. But for sure, the gas prices are up. Us traveling out here, we were paying, in some cases, a little under $4 a gallon, and a lot of cases, $4 or above a gallon. Mm-hmm. I mean, like half a tank was costing us $80
That's right.
in some places. So that's like $160 to fill up a tank,
Mm-hmm. Versus last year, getting on the road, versus last year, getting on the road from Florida and going, say, from here to Indiana or Missouri, or some of the crazy trips we went on last year was no big deal because the gas prices were so low. Yeah. So yes, suffice it to say, it makes sense that some of the comments we've seen in the comment section is that, hey, you guys are crazy. The market is heading for a recession. The fad's over.
Yeah.
Mostly because of the increase in gas prices.
Yeah.
Added to the fact that a lot of manufacturers can't get the materials to even build. There's a backlog of orders, so on and so forth. So I think that those are some of the reasons which we can talk about further. So
let's talk about it. Let's go in the van. It's a little windy out here. Come on, Lola.
Okay.
I'll follow you in here. We've been living in the van here. We're staying with friends, and of course, like as we always do, if we're staying with friends and they offer to let us use the shower or something like that, we don't say no.
No, I don't say no.
Yeah.
I take that offer.
Yeah, we take advantage of that. There's, in my opinion, there's nothing wrong with that. You can have like a 2-minute shower in here if you want.
Which we've learned to be very efficient with.
Yeah.
But still.
Right. Or, you can take advantage of your friend's nice long hot shower that you can have in there for as long as you want. Mm-hmm. So real quick before we go on to it here, I'll just show you guys what we have. I mean, if you haven't seen the van right now, it's in the 2-bench configuration. Did you get any video of it, like all put together? Because I know someone was asking me about that. So this is the rear bath model. So right back there is the bathroom, which I've shown people before. And in the rear bath model of the Beyond, you get these 2 benches that obviously people can sit across from each other like this. So you can have 2 people, 1 person sleeping on each thing. And then we just have a little bit of an inventive way that we basically put a board there in the middle, put the 2 things together, and then put cushions and all that to fill in the gap. Mm-hmm. And we get that going. To flip around here, Lola recently has added this really cool silicone like mat here that covers up the
dish mat.
Yeah, and it covers up this this burner here really nicely and helps you not press that button by accident. Mm-hmm. And get that going. I've got the chair flipped around here just because I was just sitting there doing something else. But this is my my ham radio setup that I have here. It's an ICOM ID 5100, which, like as I said, that'll be in another video. But basically, I have it set up to the Jackery 1000, and that's what's powering it. And I've got like a little speaker that you can see right there that I can listen to it on. So that's what's going on. Really, like I said, if you want to know more about that, I'll have a video up pretty soon on that. So, okay, now Lola's got notes here, so
I like to use notes.
Trying to keep me in check and get this video actually done. So yeah, so has the bubble popped? Is gas prices going to have a big effect on that? Of course, everything going on overseas right now, and other factors are pushing up gas prices. I think you said that the companies can't get materials and things like that.
Well, I think last week, Winnebago had obviously we had the boom of this market last year when COVID happened, right?
Right.
And lots of people out there needed to get away and actually explore and not be trapped in their homes. So that's where the boom started.
I think
things got a little crazy.
Right. So if we're going to go back and hit some historical points on exactly what's happening here and why is the price of these vans gone up, I think even before COVID and the boom that came out of that, because people now, it was really difficult to go on vacation, or people were having to work from home and finding out they didn't like the other people they lived with, and whatever, all those reasons. I think that Class Bs were stepping up in the first place. I think a lot of people were realizing that, hey, this is a really great way to travel and get around. It's smaller, but it's easier. We've met a lot of people who are coming from a Class C down to a B, or from A's down to B's, because it's just so much easier. Mm-hmm. And to answer everyone's question, like I gave you guys a chance, in my opinion, the boom is not really off yet. Maybe prices are stabilizing a little bit or in a holding pattern right now, but in my opinion, the boom's not over. When we reached out to different people in the industry and asked them if there's less demand or orders are getting canceled, they said no. And I'll have some videos from like Sunshine State RV up for you guys soon. But, I know with those guys, I asked them, and their answer is no. I mean, we were on the road driving out here, and we saw people in brand new vans they bought from Sunshine State RV.
Right, with temporary tags on it. So.
Yeah, and I think the reason for that is all the folks who are retiring and see this as the best way to go with a second home. You take that hit on your taxes, and then you can get out and travel. So even before COVID, I think there were factors that were pushing that up. So my answer is kind of going to be no right now. I don't want the prices to stay high.
Right, because if you recall, when we purchased this camper van last year, we purchased the camper van, then we went to the Ocala RV show. And at the show, I was like, oh, babe, we should have waited because look at all these, like,
The deals.
$10,000 off, $20,000 off. And then this year we went, it was funny to see that there was hardly anything off. There
weren't a lot of deals.
There weren't a lot of deals because there didn't need to be those deals this time around because the demand is so high. So the demand is still high, even with all the supply chain issues of not being able to get production out as quickly as people would like, even with the long wait times to get the builds out, people are waiting for them.
Right. And I think that with everything that's happening with gas prices going up, the reason why I don't think the bubble is going to pop right now, and I don't really think the bubble is going to pop at all, and I just want to make it plain and simple to people, I don't make any money from selling these vans. I do videos with Sunshine State RV. They don't pay me. Right? They just give me access to their stuff. And of course, for me doing the videos, a lot of people, I think I'm highlighting them and people are going to them. And I think they're great people to go to, So, but I don't make money out of it. So I don't really have a dog in the fight of the value of it, except maybe I own one of these. I bought this myself. I pay for this. So of course it's great that I can sell this right now for very close, if not more, than what I bought it for. But, I'm not really in the game of, hoping that these prices stay high and all that. But I think people need to appreciate a couple of factors that are out there. One, we have inflation. So just the fact of inflation alone, and a lot of that comes from us printing money. I don't want to get into politics with everyone, but you print money. This is what happens, right? So for lots of reasons we have to do that. Inflation goes up. Inflation outpaces people's your job giving you raises, and your household income. So inflation is a thing, but high demand is really still there. There's a lot of people going into retirement mode, as I said. There's a lot of people now. You could probably blame a lot of it on COVID, but there's a lot of nurses that are travel nurses, and they can live out of these vans.
That's right.
So there's a lot of other people living and working out of their vans, right? I recently had an interview with Go Small, Live Large, and he's been doing that for a while before COVID. And there's been this Class B van thing has been building.
Right. And COVID kicked that up a notch in terms of being able to work from home. And a lot of businesses allowed that. And even created positions where people could work not just from home, but work on the road as well. And this has been a great to do it. There's businesses and professions and doctors and nurses and pets, not pets, I'm not veterinarians, that are doing this job now where they're traveling, and this allows them to do that.
And so I think there's lots of other people for different reasons they can work from home, and therefore they can be on the road and work. And the demand for that is going to stay high. Perhaps you will see when it comes to Class A vans and trailers and all that, you'll see that coming down. This van in particular is gas, so it's a little bit cheaper to get gas than diesel. Diesel, though, is a little bit more efficient and all that kind of stuff. So we can argue about those things, but I think vans they're going to continue to grow. They may pause for a little while here. They may even slightly go back. But this is my personal opinion, and you can 100% feel free to argue with me and tell me that I'm wrong. I've really only been looking at this space for a year, but I've been living and looking and working in the space of Class B vans. I don't think that's going down too much. And I don't even know that Class A's or fifth wheels and all of that, they're going to go down either, because Americans find this an easier way to get out and travel and do things and get around the country. And I don't think that's going to change. It does become difficult, the gas prices and all that kind of stuff. But what are we going to do?
But with the gas prices, don't you think at some point these gas prices will normalize? I don't think that the gas prices are going to continue to climb. There was not too long ago, a couple of years ago, where the gas prices in Florida hit $3 or something, and we were all up in arms, and then they quickly went back down. I know this is a different situation, and now we've hit $4, $4.30, and that's kind of feeling like the norm because it's been some time. But to me, it's, and I could be wrong, but I feel like it always normalizes somewhere where people become acclimated to it. And I think we're getting there.
I think that's a good point. I think that gas prices, because here's what happens. To come back to politics again, which obviously we don't want to get into, if gas prices go up, people get mad. So regardless of who is in the White House, who is in government, who's in Congress or whatever, they need to do things fast about that. Right. So obviously we need to do things fast because there are folks out there who do not have a lot of disposable income. And when gas prices go up, they have to make choices of, at least their discretionary spending goes away, right? They still have to buy food and do all those kinds of things, but they don't have to buy new clothes or new electronics and all that kind of stuff. And then they get a little grumpy because of that. Of course, I mean, what would you do? But remember, when you're talking about vans that before all of this were in the $75,000 range for a van that's already built, right? And going up from that. I don't know if I saw anything less than $75,000. You guys can tell me different. You can buy a ProMaster yourself and build it up and do whatever you want to do with it. And there's a lot of different things out there you could buy used. But we're still talking about a lot of money. Right. Let's say you're buying that used for $50,000.
Still expensive.
Yeah, that's a lot of money. So those folks are in a little bit of a different category. And sometimes in that category, people are looking for other options. So Lola and I, we're professionals. I think Lola is a little bit more professional than me. But we don't have a second home. This is our second home. Right. We don't have a second home that's grounded anywhere. Right. I mean, to be honest with you, we live in a mobile home. Our home is a mobile home. Because we're trying to save money in that aspect, right? So I think people start looking at different things, and the fact that the gas price on its own going up is not a big factor. I'm still going to get out on the road and travel and do the things that I'm doing. I'm going to be grumpy. I'm going to complain, and politicians are going to pay a price for that for sure. But I really don't think it's a big factor. I think we have to have a lot of other things happen in the country for people to back off of it. But I want to make this last point, and then I'll let Lola, because everyone, like, oh, you got to let Lola
I'm fine interrupting you.
Yeah. Remember this. The Great Depression, that's where a lot of this stuff really started to boom. And what I mean by that is people living out of their cars and even making motor homes a thing, right, when the Great Depression happened. Because people start running around the country looking for alternative ways to live and different and like, hey, if I can't get jobs here, I'll go there. And and we start getting inventive under pressure. People they do a lot of good things. We're seeing this in the Ukraine. Under pressure, the people of the Ukraine are really striving and achieving amazing, miraculous things. And, I'm really a person who believes in America and the spirit that we have here in America, and we will do the same thing. We will find ways to live the awesome lives that to be honest with you, folks have worked really hard, died for, and that by the grace of God we have. So, yeah, I don't think that...
the Class B...
I don't think Class Bs or even the camper van or the recreational industry, I don't think it's over. And I especially don't think with Class Bs it's over. If you're looking for alternatives, like we have a series right now on buying a cheap Class B van and building it up, I'm predicting right now that it's going to still be very expensive at the end of the day to build that up. You guys will have to follow along with us and see what happens there. It may not be as expensive as, let's say, like $150,000 van.
It may not be $150,000, but it won't be $50,000. It won't be $20,000 or $30,000. I think we'll be well around $50,000, $70,000 by the time we finish. Between the time you spend, your time you spend, the work you put in, the materials you buy, I think that it'll still be $75,000 ish.
We need a lot more drastic things to happen in America to change that. And to be honest with you, those drastic things, what I'm trying to say, those drastic things might keep pushing this forward. Okay, because it becomes a really good alternative. You can literally drive to your job. There's people. I don't know. I do not think it's going to make a big change. You don't think it's going to make a big change?
I don't think the gas prices
Yeah.
are going to make a big change. I don't think the fact that there's supply chain issues in terms of materials the manufacturers are currently having difficulty getting their hands on to manufacture is going to make a difference.
Right.
I know that there's still a backlog of orders from when we've talked to Coachman and talk to the sales companies.
So far as evidence for that, I know the news article that Lola sent me that I'll roll in here with you guys is that Winnebago, off the production line for Winnebago came the 500,000th vehicle. So the 500,000th vehicle from Winnebago. They make a lot of different vehicles, Class A's, all kinds of stuff comes from Winnebago. And that was a Revel. It was a 4x4 Mercedes van, Sprinter van, and that was the 500th. So that should tell you something.
And that was last week.
Yeah, that was last week. And so they are selling the living daylights out of those.
Yep.
And everyone else we talked to is doing that. ProMaster just announced new stuff. I talked about that. Some people were, not 100% happy with me, but hey, that was the news, and I talked about. I went live for that. But and Mercedes announced new Sprinter vans.
Yep.
So they're going all-wheel drive and
so the industry
a little bit more power.
The industry's not slowing down.
ProMaster made a beautiful van now. I mean, I actually think it's beautiful. I thought it was ugly before. It's pretty good looking now, and they added some cool stuff to it. And it's a really good van. It's front-wheel drive. So, yeah, I don't think this is going to slow down at all.
No.
Maybe people will find alternatives. For the folks out there who really cannot afford these prices, there are alternatives. You can buy used, but used prices are high, too.
Right now, used prices are high because of
you could
demand.
build your own. Yeah.
But so far as not being able to afford something that's $150, we've seen some Thors that are 75, 80 at the shows. They're not all over 100,000.
Yeah.
There are, and those are on like ProMasters, right?
Yeah.
The Sequins and the Bolt and stuff like that. So
yeah.
It's not all over $100,000, and they're not all so expensive. So it's doable. If you want to do this, it can be done. And so, to me, I feel like the manufacturers aren't slowing down. The demand isn't slowing down. It's just that now it may take a little bit longer for you to get exactly what you want. And there may be a bit more of a wait. But I think if you're in that waiting phase right now, it's probably good because now you don't have to suffer through the gas prices. By the time your camper is ready, these gas prices would have probably gone back to some kind of normal situation.
I hope so. And companies are working on alternative things. I don't think electric vans are going to be here for another 5-6 years at least.
No, even though the Ford debut was very
electric
promising.
vans will be here actually pretty soon, but that's last mile delivery one. So in other words, vans working for Amazon, FedEx, UPS, etc. that don't have to go that far. But I think for us, we need, like, as for the Class B camper van world, we need over 300-mile range on that. We need, like, 350, 400-mile range.
Well, that's why I was referring to the one, that was Ford, right?
No, that was a Ford, but Thor made one, an electric one that we have a video.
Right.
I don't know. We're not seeing that soon.
Well, yes, we're not seeing it soon.
That's a prototype.
We're not seeing it soon.
Yeah.
Yes.
So, but there are alternatives, and to be honest with you, here in America, this is like a whole thing, and we really need to end because my arm is killing me. But here in America, we have more compressed natural gas than Saudi Arabia has oil. So we don't have to ask anyone for that. Compressed natural gas vehicles are 50% cleaner, and we could take any vehicle. This van, just a regular combustion engine can be converted to run off of that stuff, and it will become 50% cleaner. And it's better to take vehicles that exist and make them cleaner than to even build brand new vehicles if you care about the environment, right? So we've got solutions. We just need to get our acts together and use those solutions. So that's my final word. I will let Lola have her final word, and then for the sake of my arm, I'm going to end this video. Go ahead, Lola.
I think you've just said the final words, but long story short, I think that the RV market is not going away. The Class B van market is not going away. I think that, yes, there's been a huge demand, a huge, boom in the last couple of years, but I don't think that it was a fad. I think that it's something that's here to stay because it's economical. It's fun to do. It's enjoyable. And I think it's a great alternative for living, and cost effect in the long run, the cost even makes sense for a lot of people. So I don't think that it's going away. I don't think that it's the boom is over.
Okay. There you go. From Lola Strange. Final words. Not really, because I'm always going to have the final word. But I will call it wraps. You guys let us know what you think. Are we right? Are we wrong? You know, you don't know. You're the jury is still out with you guys. Or, you know, let us know what you're paying for gas. We're paying, like, we've paid a little bit over $4 a gallon and a little bit under that.
Yeah, and I'm curious to know if current owners out there are planning less trips for the summer or shorter trips for the summer because of the current situation. I'm curious to know what people are doing. You know, if people are worried about the gas prices even at all, or if it's not worried about it.
Okay, Lola, you're not holding this camera. So my arm is killing me.
Right.
I'm out of here. Thanks so much. We really appreciate you guys doing this. Don't forget to hit that subscribe button. We appreciate you guys. See you on the next one. We're out. Peace.